Hi there, and welcome to the Midlife Boss Summit. I am here today to share with you how you can expand and grow a business with knowledge that you already own. Who am I? My name is Charles-Hosten. I am a pharmacist, a certified professional healthcare risk manager, and I'm also a certified life coach. And today I would like to share with you how I was able to grow my consulting business while keeping my full-time job. But most importantly, growing a business with knowledge that I already own, knowledge that I already have of 36 years experience as a practicing pharmacist. What I'm going to share with you today doesn't only apply to pharmacists, it can really apply to anyone who find themselves in a situation that they may just want to start a business for any reasons. For example, if you had a career and you retired and now you would like to use that knowledge to start a business, that's great. Or you may just be a person maybe laid off and you say, I have all these skills. How can I take these skills that I already own, that I know, that are mine, this knowledge, and how could I have it, turn it into a business that could be profitable or just for fun or just to donate your time? So there are many different ways that we can do that. And I'm just going to share with you my story, my situation, and what I did. So a few years ago, my personal situation is my husband, we had a health crisis. And so my husband was no longer able to support our family. So I became the sole provider of our family. And it was not an easy thing. But let me just back up a little bit. So today I'm going to share with you 3 tips, 3 that I have used and applied to my own life to grow my pharmacy consulting business. But you can apply this information to any knowledge that you already have. And the 3 tips I'll be giving you, I'll share them here. The number 1, use what you already know. Use the knowledge you already have. Number 2, know your passion and why. Something that you're passionate about and why you want to pursue it as a business. And number 3, overcoming your fear and doubts. Because starting a business is not for the faint of heart. You may have some fear surrounding it. It's something new, and doubt, like, could I ever provide a product or service that someone could actually pay me for, that I could actually monetize? So my answer to that is a resounding yes, yes, yes. You can start a business and be paid using the knowledge you already know and be paid for it. So again, number 1, use what you already know. So my family, my husband had a health crisis and I became the sole breadwinner for our family. I figured out I had to find a way to make more income to keep our family going. And so I realized that I had to keep my full-time job. So that was great. But in between, I had some time on my hand and I was trying to figure out what could I do with that time to make some extra income in that time that I had. And so as I looked around, there were different opportunities that were out there, but it had to be something that I could do when I was not performing the duties of my full-time job. And so I came across the consultant for surgery centers. And that was something that fit perfectly with me having a full-time job, um, because it's something that I could do on my days off. And so I was able to start that business, using the certification that I already had. It was in a different industry. I've been in the retail part of pharmacy, but with that knowledge and certification of being a pharmacist, I was able to go into surgery center consultant. But I had to learn that. That was a learning curve for me. And I went through that process. So whatever business you want to go into, you may need to go through a learning curve to hone your skills to the specific way you want to use it, and depending on the industry that you want to work with. I reached out to other people that I knew were already working with Surgery Center, and they were kind enough to give me the information that I needed to get started. And I taught myself, filled in the gaps with the other parts that I didn't know. I had to learn how to create proposals, contracts, marketing materials. So it's a whole learning curve. So whatever you're going to do with that knowledge you already know, just keep in mind that there is a process that you need to go through, like marketing yourself. In my case, I built my own website because I had the knowledge to do it. But in the end, I was able to use the core knowledge, which was the pharmacy piece, and apply it to this industry with surgery centers. And now, years later, I have a business that I love. I love working with the surgery centers. I love working with the nurses and the staff there. And whatever business that you choose to go into, obviously it's going to be something that you enjoy. And I know that you will get great satisfaction from doing that. So that's number one. Use what you already know. Number two, know your passion and why. My passion was to, again, provide for my family. And providing for my family, it's something I do with love, because I love my family, but it was not easy. But I was doing something I was passionate about, pharmacy. That's what I've done my whole career. And the why was the big part. I was doing this to make sure that we could literally keep the lights on and keep a roof over our heads. And so that was my passion. But in executing this, I was able to use other aspects of my education, and not just pharmacy, to work when I delivered the service to my surgery centers. So being a life coach helped me to know how to interact with people better, to be able to be more professional, and figured out people's psychology, so that I was able to know how to approach them, how to speak with them, because different people have different personalities. And if you're not able to know how to communicate, their communication style, that could put you at a disadvantage. So being a life coach really helped me with that. I had taken Toastmasters for several years because I always wanted to be a speaker. And so I'm so thankful for the opportunity to be working Another passion of mine has always been to expand myself and grow. And that's why I became a life coach. I really became a life coach to understand myself better. And I found that it's helped me a lot because now I can understand other people better. And that's always been a passion of mine. And personal growth is key to having your own business. You must, I believe, have the mindset of wanting to grow yourself personally, professionally in your business. And I feel that you can start exactly where you are. So, for example, I know someone who had an issue with, they started a business from a personal problem they had. So their hair was breaking off because they were in the medical, they're a nurse, and they had an issue with their hair breaking off from constantly wearing the scrub hats in the operating room. And so they decided that I am going to make a hat, make my own scrub hat, and I'm going to line it with silk. And so this person came up with a company. They started wearing the silk hats to work, and other employees noticed and they said, "Where did you get that hat?" And they said, "Well," she said, "Well, I made the hat." And they said, "Well, could you make me one like that?" And she said, "Sure." So here she was able to start a business. She's a nurse already. But people wanted to buy the hat, and she actually created a hat to solve a personal problem that she was having. And she created a company, and it's called Silk and Satin Scrub Hats. And that person who started that company is my daughter. She is a nurse, and that is her company, Silk and Satin Scrub Hats. And she has her full-time job, and she also has her own business. So here is another example of where you can start your own business with knowledge and expertise that you already own. You can channel it into a profitable business venture. So again, I encourage you to look for that thing that you can do, look for that knowledge you already have, and start your own business. I am happy to assist you with in whatever way I can. You're welcome to reach out to me. There will be contact information if you're interested in doing that. The third piece is to overcoming your fear and doubts. How do you overcome your fear and doubts? You really don't, honestly. I still have fears, I still have doubt, but fortunately for me, I did not let that stop me. I was able to, because my desire was stronger than the fear and the doubts, my desire to grow helped me to overcome my fear and doubts. But the cool thing about when you step out and try to expand yourself and grow and do something that you've never done before, start a business that you've never done before, those fear and doubts will always be there trying to convince you to go back to your safe place. And I refuse to go back to that safe place because my passion and my desire was to grow myself emotionally, spiritually, and financially, and that desire overcame the fears and doubts that I had. So for example, in my business, I had many fears to overcome. When I started out, I was able to get a mailing list, and from the state, and I sent out a mailing list of surgery center owners in the state of Florida. It's public knowledge, so you can literally download the mailing, a list of all the surgery centers on an Excel spreadsheet. And that's what I did. And I sent out a total of, first I sent out a batch of 200 mails, then I sent out another 150, and then I sent out another 150. So it was a total of about 500 pieces of direct mail that I did. And I was so excited. After I sent out the first batch, I didn't hear anything back. Then I sent out the next batch and I didn't hear anything. And I sent out the third batch, and that by then I was really discouraged. I'm like, not even one response. And I could not believe it. So you're talking about 500 people that you tried to contact. You were rejected by all of them, not even one. And then years later, one company that did get my mail, they held on to it and they reached out to me, and I did get their business. And that one account alone paid for more than what I spent for the whole mail-in. So was it worth it? Absolutely. So when you start your own business, persistence is the key. You cannot let your fear of not getting the business keep you away. You have to have your passion. That has to overcome your fear. And even getting started in my business, when my first prospective client contacted me, I was petrified. Even though I had marketed myself, I had read everything that I could about the industry, when it came down to actually providing the service, it was really scary. And I remember when the call came in about wanting my services, I was shocked. But it kind of doesn't make sense. Why would I be shocked when I'd been spending money to market, and I had been building a website and reaching out, going knocking on doors, introducing myself. And so the first client comes, and that was scary, but I overcame that. And we were able to negotiate. I was able to come up with a proposal. That was another issue for me because I'd never done that before. So when you start your business, it's going to be a lot of first things that you've never done before. Then you just have to Google it, engage other people who may know about it, but get it done and get back to your prospective client. So overcoming the proposal was a challenge for me. Then I had to negotiate the price. Then we had to come up with the contract, and I was able to come up with the contract. I had some templates, and so I was able to get that done. Then finally, when that was all done, you would think everything is good. Well, the day came for me to arrive at the surgery center for my first consultation visit. And I must tell you, that's where the fear just overcame me. It was palpable. I was so scared. I got there and I parked my car and I realized I don't think I want to do this. I've never done this before, even though I've done it on paper and in my head, and other people had showed me how they did it. I just totally felt incapable. And I must caution you that whenever you start something new, that does happen. So expect that may not happen for you. It happened for me, and I know after talking to other people, it's happened to them, where they are totally afraid of making that plunge or all the first. And so I sat in my car on my very first visit, and I was like paralyzed. And fortunately for me, I called my husband, and I told him I couldn't go in, and so he gave me the boost I needed and told me, just keep walking, get out the car, don't stop till you get in the building, and once you get in, you'll be fine. And he was right. I got into the building, the consultation went fine, everything was well. But what that taught me was to always have someone that I can call in a pinch, someone who's a cheerleader, someone who will support me, someone who will encourage me. We all need that layer of encouragement so that we can go forward with our goals, with our desires. And so I encourage you, if you're considering building your own consultation business, building a business from knowledge that you already have, overcoming your fear is probably going to be one of the biggest challenges that you face. But just know that you're not alone. Whenever we try to do something for the first time, something new, it always seems foreign. It seems so hard and impossible. But once you have that desire and you have that goal and you're willing to step out and put forth your best effort, I guarantee you, you will get the results you need. I had 500 rejections except for one person that contacted me, and it was worth it. But it was difficult to deal with those rejections. But getting the rejections doesn't mean that I am not good at what I do. It just means that they just did not want my services at that time. Unfortunately for me, ever since then, I've been able to grow my business. It's been almost 10 years now. And so whatever business that you choose to go into, know that there are going to be challenges, but you can overcome them. Again, my 3-step that I mentioned, use what you already know. I'm just going to recap here. I knew pharmacy, and I chose to go into consultancy because in the pharmacy area, a consultant pharmacist, because that's what I already knew. So I used the knowledge I already had to start my business. It doesn't matter if you're a pharmacist or not. We all have different areas of knowledge, of expertise, whatever that expertise is, whatever your knowledge base is. Find something in that base that you can use to start your own business, and just start. Don't wait for everything to line up. Just start where you are. Once you put action to your ideas, things will happen. But again, for me, it took some time, and so I started pretty not confident, feeling that no one would need my services, but I did it anyway, and it paid off for me. But again, it wasn't easy. It took a lot out of me. I had a lot of growing to do, and I had to overcome a lot of obstacles. The second thing we spoke about was know your passion and why. My passion was to serve, to provide service to people who could use my expertise, could use my knowledge. And so I was able to provide that service. And my why was the love and the responsibility to take care of my family, and also to grow myself, not just financially, emotionally, personally, but also I grew geographically because I expanded my business to all different areas of the state of Florida. I wasn't just in the town that I lived. I went outside of my area. So I was passionate about what I did, and so I was willing to drive hours to get to my clients. And overcoming your fear and doubts. And for me, that was one of the biggest obstacles ever, because I did not feel confident. I did not feel anyone would hire me. I just did not, for some reason, didn't think that I was enough. Now I still struggle with that, but not as much because obviously I've been working with these clients for years and years, and they are very, they love my services. That's why they keep me, and so it's a win-win for myself and for the clients that I serve. I provide excellent service for them. I get to use my Toastmaster skills, and I do in-service with the staff, with the nurses. I actually feel that I'm a natural born teacher. And so I just encourage you to start where you are. Know that you will have some obstacles, some challenges, but if your why is powerful enough and it means enough to you, you will find a way to overcome those obstacles and get to the other side. My biggest regret in not starting is not starting my business sooner, because I feel that I would have been so much further ahead as a more confident person. And so my business has really helped me to develop confidence and self-worth, because I provide value. So I say my most important advice to you is, if you want to start a business, start, and don't give up on it if you don't get success right away. Stick it out. I promise you, if you stick with it, it will work out for you. Maybe not in the way that you think it will, but things will open up and you will get to your goal. I promise you. And the reason I can say that with such confidence, because that's what I did. And so far, it's worked pretty good for me. I wish you all the best as you pursue whatever goal you have of starting your business. And remember, please feel free to reach out to me. I can share with you the knowledge that I know and be an encourager for you as well. I would like to thank the Midlife Boss Academy, Olga, for inviting me to do this presentation for you. My hope is that you found it helpful. And again, I wish you nothing but great success.